today is a very special day. We're going to be streaming for you guys the finals of NACL, the culmination of all these games coming all together in the finals. We're going to be having two awesome teams. But before we do talk about these teams, got a special guest today that's going to be joining us, and it's going to be Xenotech. Hello, Xeno. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm super stoked to be casting this amazing set between Misfits and Mars.
Yeah, they're going to be two awesome teams. They did make their way right to the finals after a few weeks of battle. And yeah, it's going to be the end today. It's going to be a BO5, Team Misfits. It's going to be starting onto the A side against Team from Mars onto the B side. And we're just waiting now to go into this first game anytime soon into patch 3.0. Like, patch 3.0, a lot of heroes have we been seen like in the videos, for example, of Dienzio and in multiple streams all around Vainglory. You saw a few Vainglory heroes coming out into this meta, very dominant. Like, Xeno, do you have any like feedback on those heroes? Like, what do you expect to be picked into these games?
So 3v3 meta is definitely different than 5v5. I'm expecting probably Gwen's, Cruel's, maybe CP Idris. But yeah, I would say those are probably going to be the top tier contested picks right now.
Yeah, we're going to have to see that then, because we are now entering the draft. I'm going to be having first ban on the side of Misfits. It's going to be a Lance right off the bat, not hesitating any second, taking Lance off right away. Well, what do you think of that? Like, I do not see that ban coming out very often.
Unfortunately, I'm having issues. What was that?
The Misfits just ban Lance, first ban Lance on A side.
Interesting. This might be a target ban towards the hero pool from Mars. Or they're going a specific comp, maybe a dive comp. We will find out.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more of a comfort or ban, or as you said there, a little bit of a target ban against some members of Team from Mars. And as we're waiting for the second ban here, like multiple heroes are still very dominant in the 3.0. As you said, they're Cruel. Very dominant hero, will not let you get away. He did have a huge buff on his passive that allows him to get that Shadows and Powers Muse active and up more often. So I think that would be also a very nice ban. You've got also that Vox that can be flexed onto the first pick on A side. That could be also very banned. So multiple ban possibilities in the hands of From Mars. You're just going to have to pick in the next few seconds and see what they want to go after that ban on Lance. So many possibilities as we are now 1 second. Let's see what they want to decide on. Looks like teams are taking their time to actually choose. So yeah, like multiple choices coming out. I'd expect to see a Vox ban or a Cruel in this situation. So yeah, what do you think like should come out from Mars into this first ban?
I mean, this doesn't really tell them much. Like from my assumption, they're looking to go a dive comp, but they might look to just ban away a really good power pick. In 3v3, Ringo's still really good. Vox is really good, obviously. So they might want to get rid of one of those high mobile characters, but it's really hard to tell from just one ban.
Yeah, like as we said, there's so many dominant heroes in the 3.0. They're going to try and pick it up, but they're going to be banning then Churnwalker. Churnwalker banned right off the bat on the side of From Mars, so they did take their time. So I think they put a lot of thought into this ban. And that means they're not going to be able, like, for example, Churnwalker, CP Vox was an awesome duo. Still up right now in the patch 3.0, so they took that off. CP Vox, if it does get picked up, cannot be duoed with that Churnwalker. And as we do have then two roams now banned, that means the roam pool is going to be very small. You have Grace, you have Arden, you have Lyra, so a lot less picks to actually choose from, Xeno.
Yeah, I would agree. The Churnwalker ban makes sense just because he's so dominant in the 3v3 format. Also has a lot of early aggression, which without Lance in the mix makes Churnwalker pretty insane to deal with.
Yeah, Churnwalker is very powerful, and they're going to be then first picking first hero that's going to be played in this first game of BF5 is going to be Rona, and straight away counter pick there Wiz and Arden. So Arden on From Mars and Misfits with that Rona, I'm banning Koshka. Wow, they're going fast now. They're going fast, too fast for me. And yeah, so ban, pick Rona for Misfits. So they're going to go very aggressive onto this one. And after you have the Arden pick up there, just a very versatile roam for Team from Mars. They can do up that with many heroes. And then banning Koshka. Koshka's still very dominant after that 3.0 nerf. She's still in the meta and still very powerful. So taking it off is a good decision on the side of From Mars.
Yeah, that's a super interesting pick, in my opinion, by Misfits. Blind picking a Rona while From Mars still has the blind picks is pretty insane to me, but we'll see where they go with the draft.
Yeah, I do think Rona is more one of those heroes you'd prefer picking onto the B side when you know what you're going to go up against. So taking it there, it opens a lot of potential like counters for Team from Mars. They did take that Arden, so Abel a little bit later on was the Vanguard, giving a nice shield to the hero you want to try and help out if he wants to be your jungler or your carry, and applying the slow. They're going to be then banning a Cruel. Cruel in those 1v1 duels, it can go up against Arona quite well if he's able to actually pick those fights properly. And Cruel is so powerful in 3.0. You do not want to have that in a game. Do not have the hero against you, or you will regret so much to have not banned it. And yeah, so Cruel, Koshka taken off right off the bat. So 2 junglers will not be picked in this game. As you're going to see, like probably against a Rona, like what can be picked up into this Rona and do it up with an Arden, Xeno?
They have so many options to them right now. They could easily just max out on their kite potential with a Sky, a Vox. Rona is historically really good against Ringo, but with an Arden, Ringo can kite away pretty easily against her. So that's an option as well.
Yeah, but they do then pick up the Black Feather. They're going to be picking the Black Feather into this Rona. And it's cool because they can then flex this Black Feather, CP jungler or weapon lane. They can decide really what they want to do. It's very free. So I do like this pickup because depending on what they decide to go as a laner, even if it's not lane Rona, they decide they can still flex that Rona into the jungle or the lane. So a lot of potential. I do really like this Black Feather pickup, just able to flex in any build and also any position.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Black Feather is a great flex flick. Again, the Rona pick, I believe, just like the Lance ban and probably the Cruel ban as well, is focused onto the players from Mars. Daniel is known as a really good Rona player. So that's probably the main reason for the Rona first pick. I do think that From Mars has the upper hand in draft at this moment.
And look at that. They're going to be countered that. Misfits do pick up the Grace. So late game, the double Divine Intervention building up with that Echo and the Fountain. Just giving so much extra sustain to Rona. It's already a really good brawl hero that can just go in, sustain if she does decide to go with the Breaking Point Serpent Mask build. That sustain coming out from the Grace is just going to enable her to dive in the enemy lines and still survive in any given situation. So I do really like Grace in 3.0. She is extremely, extremely powerful. I'm going to have to see when they want to combo as a little bit more squishy hero behind this Rona and Grace comp. Gwen is still open, but I do not expect to see a double weapon comp coming out. So there are like many opportunities, into this last pick that will be coming out any second for Misfits.
With this Grace pick, it's actually like amazing for Misfits. Grace with a double dive is just insanely strong because usually Grace is really squishy because she goes the Echo build path and you can focus her out first. When there's a double dive with her, it's really hard to perform in a team fight properly. So it'll be interesting to see what From Mars decides to counter.
Yeah, and then Misfits there on the last pick. They did pick up that Alpha. So you have Alpha Rona, 2 very brawl heroes who are just going to be diving into that fight, living in any given situation. They're going to be able to sustain so hard. And then the Divine Intervention from this Grace, just topping up their HP and their tankiness for a few seconds. That's going to be absolutely crucial. And then, very smart pickup from Mars, picking up the Raim. against this dive comp. 3 melee heroes against the Rain. Rain, when he's going to be hitting that mid game, when he's going to get his first few core items, he's going to be wrecking this game.
Oh yeah, this, like, again, from Mars, I think has the upper hand in the draft completely. I would personally put the Blackfeather in lane and just have him go CP, get those items really fast, and then have Rhyme dominate the jungle versus Alpha.
Yeah, like a very smart counter into the Alpha. That's what we normally do. When you see an Alpha pick up, just don't even think, just pick up a Rain. Most of the cases, like 90% of the time, you will try and go into a Rain because you can just outdo an Alpha so effectively. And when you've got a triple melee comp, that means you can hit absolutely everyone. And if you've got Winter Spires to connect on 3 enemy heroes, you're going to get that much more sustain, durability, and again, also that fortified health. And if he does decide then late game to go with an Eve of Harvest, that I would highly recommend. He's just going to be battling in those fights. He could even turn it in 1v3s if he can do it properly. But also, like, he's going to be having that Blackfeather and Arden just able to give so much back support. Blackfeather able to stack up also, I would imagine, with a breaking point and separate Mars build up. And the Arden just able in his teammates to actually try and dive in and keep them in range with the level 6 Gauntlet coming out. So it is a very interesting game. And, you know, I always ask this to the caster I am casting with. And what team would you give this game to in game number 1?
I'm gonna have to go with From Mars just because of the fact of their options to him. It looks like they are gonna go the Crystal Rhyme. I was hoping for a crazy flex there with a CP Blackfeather lane and a weapon power Rhyme, because Rhyme actually doesn't stack too insane with his fortified HP with abilities anymore. It's his auto attacks that give him just an insane amount of fortified HP. So that's what I would have loved to see, but I do give it to From Mars. Overall.
It would have been interesting. I never seen a weapon Rain, so I would have been actually quite stoked to see if that how that would have played out. But yeah, we're going to be having that Crystal Power Rain, just the normal Rain build you're going to be normally seeing when that hero does get picked up. As both teams are slowly going to be rotating to the mid for this first Elder Treant. Probably a first team fight coming out any second now, as both teams, looks like Team From Mars are going to be having a little bit of an advantage there. They were able to push them away. And Ali Peterson may be looking for, no, not going to be looking for the Benediction quite yet. We'll be leaving that first Elder Treant going to the side of Team From Mars. And they do rotate slowly to lane. We'll be careful there. Benediction coming down on Hello Kitty. Does get a little bit of extra damage. Still getting very low. Did get the Mortal Wound applied. He still has his healing flask up unavailable, and so does Daniel. So they can out-sustain them if ever they do get engaged anytime now. But yeah, like, in the early game, like, what do you expect to come out in this early game for both teams, you know, like, because it is quite tanky on both sides?
So I'm expecting From Mars to want to scale up the Blackfeather, but also want that Rhyme to start to snowball against this Alpha, because if they're allowed to scale, Rhyme in the past has actually been beaten by Alpha once she gets that Aftershock. So I would love to see duo invades from Mars into Misfits jungle a lot, but it seems like Misfits has the rotation on this shop Treant.
Yeah, they're going to be getting that second Treant for themselves, so we're 2 minutes in. God advantage just a little bit, 500 over for the side of Team From Mars, so not that much, but they still got that little bit of a faster rotation on their side, as Ali Peterson does try to engage a little bit of a 1v2. But look at that Nas there. As you said, trying to go into the enemy's jungle, just as I said, Xeno, so he knows his win conditions, trying to steal as much farm as possible. The Maokai did have the information there, and Nas just trying to stay around. But Daniel is quite low HP, and he's going to be a little bit attacked there. Nice into the fray, able to get the slow. He's going to be popping his push to get back to safety. And Jazreel taking a lot of damage there from Hedikuti. Going to be popping that healing flask. And Nas a little bit caught out in this point in time. Nice Winter Spy. Still doing so much damage to sustain early game of Raimi is absolutely huge. Prime Directive does connect, got a little bit of help of Daniel. Does use his healing flask as he did dive in with the Vanguard. They will be surviving another day. And Nas just overall trying to push Maokai away. But he's low on mana, on energy, and he's low on HP. So that would be an easy target for Maokai. He's just going to be leaving that one slip away for the time being. And like very aggressive, as you said, like Nas must try and engage and take the enemy's farm, try and scale up effectively. And he's doing that really well right now.
Yeah, it's exactly their win condition. Misfits did good defending there. They missed an opportunity to counter attack from Mars jungle. Beautiful play by Hello Kitty in the lane to really shove out and then get Rona low. So they couldn't get that counter play off. Rona did get home and get that heavy still. Hello Kitty is ahead of him, nearly completing that Serpent's Mask already.
Yeah, the Daniel almost going down there to the first split of Jazville. Still 4 minutes in, no first blood was given quite yet. And still we got that 500 little gold advantage on the side of From Mars. So still possible of coming back. And yeah, Nas just roaming around, trying to get a few camps, trying to get his core items up. You might go for, we don't know, like, what do you expect them first item-wise to go, like, on the side of Nas? What do you expect, like, Shatterglass? As you see him get in the lane with a Prime Directive onto Hello Kitty. Does take a lot of damage. Does not have, yeah, he just got his healing flask back up there. And Jazville just trying to roam around, trying to get these minions. Yeah, not going to be happening quite yet. Not going to be having first bloods for the time being. Just trying to get some extra damage. But yeah, like, what do you expect to see coming out from Nas 9000 onto his build with Rain?
I'm expecting Dragon's Eye. These fights are going to go a really long time. A Shattered Glass wouldn't be optimal. You want to get a Dragon's Eye, start stacking up, get an Eve. So I'm expecting a Dragon's Eye, and then for Black Feather, he's probably going to go into that Serpent's Mask, Breaking Point, tank build. Daniel did just complete his Fountain. I'm guessing Ally Peterson will complete his here soon as well. So all even up, I don't think any team has an advantage in a team fight right now. Maybe From Mars, just because the Aftershock's not completed down on Maokai.
Holy Nova does connect on use a nicely placed Rose offensive to get out of the CC of the Holy Nova. Hello Kitty just staying to safety under his turret. He does have the healing flask up if he wants to try and re-engage. Our Prime Directive going to be missing out for Maokai for the time being. Nice, Tio-Win's able to get a nice CC. Holy Nova does connect onto the Arden. Daniel taking a lot of damage, going low HP. Whereas offensive trying to shut down Ali Peterson, who does use a healing flask. Prime Directive, 3-man first blood coming over from Misfits. Taking down Hello Kitty. Nas trying to get a lot of damage. Valkyrie will be going down, will be connecting. It will not be enough. There will be 2 kills going over to Team Misfits early game. 2 first kills. And also the first blood to Misfits, as they do try to maybe push this first turret.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying. From Mars really needs to scale up this Black Feather before they look for a 3-man fight. Really just keep that skirmish mode up, where Rhyme excels versus the Alpha alone. And beautiful play by Misfits to take advantage of the grouping up from Mars.
Oh, I'm going to see, look at that, another aggression. Holy Nova does get countered as did use the Rose offensive. Ali Peterson, 5 stack of Hearthrobe. You do not want to re-engage quite yet, or you will get assassinated by a Faint of Heart. I'm just going to rotate a little bit into their jungle. But as you did say, we do have Nas, did get that Dragon's Eye, and now he's going to be able to be that much more scalable into those fights. As you did say, these fights are going to be lasting very long. Like Rona, Alpha, Grace, super tanky on the side of Misfits. Rain, Black Feather, Arden, also super tanky. So building stacking items is absolutely to their advantage. Holy Nova does connect onto Nas, going to be a little bit separated from his teammates as Jazville and Marco trying to re-engage right onto this Black Feather. Nice Vanguard. We dare have the Divine Intervention popping out onto Marco, just giving him that much more sustain. Does use his Termination Protocol, going to be exploding. Not doing that much damage. I do see the Holy Nova trying to shut down Maokai. He will be going down to Winter Spite of the Rain. Red Mist going wild. Zephyr going to be shut down by the Faint of Heart. Holy Nova, 3-man hate. Oh my god, the Holy Nova did work out properly. Unfortunately, that will not be enough. It will be first 8 of this game over to Team From Mars. A nice stacking, like stack 18 for Nas on that Dragon's Eye. That was huge.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful plays by From Mars there. Misfits overstepping their bounds a little bit, trying to force a fight under this Crystal Sentry, which just comes in. Once you get underneath it, it just slows you down and you can't. If you're trying to force a fight around the Crystal Sentry, you have to be on top of it before it starts. So, huge mistake there by Misfits, and Mars capitalizes.
Yeah, that did go right to the end. As you did say, Misfits did a little bit overstep, and what was interesting is that Daniel onto this Arden, he understood that, so he locked them down with his Gauntlet, just stopping them from escaping of their overstepped position. And after that, like literally, they could just come back. Even though Hello Kitty was low HP, he was able to do a lot of work because they were on the defensive. They did have that Crystal Sentry, able, as you said, there to come back and slow them down and keep them at range for Blackfeather to not get engaged, but at the same time for their enemies to not be able to escape that situation. So it was a very nice decision on Daniel to use that gauntlet just on time. And he was able to pick up a very nice and fast ace as they do try to rotate onto this gold miner. And yeah, Aftershock also onto Maokai. Also is going to go for probably Dragon's Eye also next, because those stacking items are going to be absolutely game-changing in this first game.
Yeah, From Mars is a full item up on the laner side of things. Hello Kitty is just... Jazville actually did just go home and finished up that breaking point as well, so it evened out there, but that's why From Mars rushed that gold mine there. They had the advantage in items. They had the advantage in levels. No way Misfits could contest that without losing another team fight.
Yeah, they do have the advantage.
So beautiful plays from Mars.
Oh, be careful there. Daniel getting a little bit engaged. Will try to reposition with the blood onto the enemy Crystal Sentry. Crystal Sentry into the mix, able to slow down. Will be going down, unfortunately. Look at that. Daniel very low. Will be using his gauntlet there to try and keep them at range. Nice Valkyrie going to be blocked up by an awesomely timed Crucible from this Grace. Holy Nova going to be connecting, able to knock up Nas, and this is going to be the first kill into this fight. Jazville going down. Ali Peterson will be going down to the Vanguard of Daniel. And Maokai a little bit lonely there. Will be battling against Hello Kitty. But Hello Kitty's still doing a lot of damage. Got still a few of those breaking point stacks. Will be back in under his turret. He doesn't have his termination protocol up. They're just going to force this turret down. Maokai knows he cannot deal with it right now. We'll try to engage onto Daniel. Yeah, I think it was a little bit more of a bait than anything else. And that was going to be second turret down. And as you said, like a lot of aggression. That's what they had to do, is to go onto the enemy territory, take those fights, because Rain is absolutely in his win condition. If you go and get the first few shots and stack up first, you can easily take the advantage into those team fights.
Well, that was exactly what Misfits needed to do in the previous fight. From Mars started the fight on top of the Crystal Sentry, making it where they could just disengage from the Sentry and fight. And because of Misfits comp being pure melee, having to engage, it worked perfectly for From Mars. Beautiful plays by Daniel there. He got amazing gauntlet away. He just stayed. Then Misfits separated and tried to kill Daniel with Alpha instead of just focusing the same target. And that's a huge issue for Misfits in this game one.
Yeah, because they did try to focus on Daniel, as you said, and unfortunately after that it was free range damage coming out from Nas and Hello Kitty. We do see the engagement Crucible a little bit late coming out from Daniel to stop that Holy Nova. He's not going to do much. Valkyrie does rain down. Nice Crucible. Look at that termination protocol going down with the prime directive. He will be going down to the foe splitter of Jazville. And now it's a 3v2. As you do see Nas trying to regen. He's doing a lot of work there. He does have the stacks. Divine Intervention going to be running down onto Maokai to get that extra sustain. Red Mist going wild. Turning around, and he's going to be locking him down with that Holy Nova. The block a little bit too late, unfortunately, for Nas. And now they're going to try and secure the ace onto Daniel, but Daniel going to be getting close to his Crystal Sentry. They're going to leave that one slip away, and that's going to be 2 kills to Misfits. No one going down on their side, and they're going to turn that into a gold miner. So very nice team fight overall.
Literally every team fight, these teams are adapting, doing exactly what I'm saying. Literally, Misfits just focused the same target. They were both on top of that Blackfeather. And here's another fight coming in right now.
Daniel Conveno going to go down to the core charge of this Alpha. Holy Nova going to be blocking it on time. Hello Kitty just before going down himself. If he does go down himself, we do have the Divine Intervention. Core charge will be locking him down. He done a nice fight. Hello Kitty. Unfortunately, he did go down quite fast as the stacking potential on the Dragon's Eye of Maokai was just unbearable. He did go down quite fast. But he was able to take down Jazville with while he's full, so it's not totally lost at this point. But yeah, like they do have to be much more aggressive. If the side of Misfits do get engaged, that's what we saw throughout this this game. If Misfits get engaged, they lose the fight. If Misfits engage the fight and start early damage right away, they mostly win it. They won it in 2 cases, and that in the 2 other cases they got engaged and they lost it. So as you said, Xeno, like the win conditions for Misfit is basically mainly engage, Try and take down Blackfeather. That's going to be the main target, as he will go down much faster than a Rain, or go down on Rain before he's able to get his fortified health up. If they don't do that, basically they're just gonna, the sustained capacity of Rain is gonna start building up way earlier, and he's just gonna be unkillable, as it did happen the fight just before this one.
Oh yeah, Rhyme is pretty far away from an Eve as well. Like, Rhyme really doesn't deal a lot of damage at this point. So if they get rid of Blackfeather every fight, Misfits is definitely going to have this in the bag. It looks like Mars is going to start up this Crystal Sentry.
Yeah, they're just trying to shut it down. They will be able to shut it down. Going to be using a nice block to stop that Holy Nova. Careful, Maokai going to be going very low. And the Divine Intervention was misclicked onto Jazville. He was already full HP. Nice. Valkyrie able to get a stun out. Holy Nova going to be blocked out with a nice Crucible of Daniel. That's going to be 2 mans down on the side of Misfits. And Hallie Peterson will be following quite fast just behind Ace to the side of Team from Mars. Very dominant, as they did engage. And that's what we've been talking about all throughout this game. They engaged and they won the fight over Misfits. Misfits, they must try and be a little bit more aggressive and take the, actually try and commit into those fights when they actually want to be aggressive and start in those fights. And looks like we might even have this choke point turret going down any second now to the hands of Hello Kitty.
Yeah, again, that fight was just really well played. Started up that Crystal Sentry, and we're on top of it before the fight started. And it looks like they're going to do another engage.
Yeah, go back in. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end for Hello Kitty. Getting deleted, a little bit overstepping at that point in time. Going to use the War Treads there, Daniel. Just trying to win some time. Maybe use the Vanguard. Yeah, nicely done. Nice team play. But unfortunately, the Prime Directive of Ali Peterson just enabled him to reposition onto Nas. And unfortunately, looks like Daniel will be going down. Prime Directive, got the core charge coming up. Going to be using a Crucible just to try and win a little bit more time. But he cannot win against a 3-man team fight. So yeah, he's going to be going down, giving over a kill. And so did Hello Kitty. And that's just going to be farming, as he can't do that much right now.
That was such a great catch by Misfits, and a really big misplay from ours. Rhyme just finished up that Eve. Blackfeather would have been able to finish that Bone Saw if he didn't They had just played a little bit safe, got those items. They would be looking at getting this Kraken. Oh,
yeah,
close to still there.
Yeah, going to be secured there by Maokai with that core charge. And it looks like Maokai, Jazville, and Ali Peterson are slowly trying to look for a little bit of aggression, trying to force Team from Mars a little bit away as they do get a little bit forward. This Kraken still pushing proudly into this lane. Taking a little bit of early damage from Daniel, as he does have that Stormcrown. You're never going to be crucibled out by Daniel. You have the Divine Intervention going down onto Jazville, just giving them that much sustain. But no, Malco would have needed that much more. He's very low. Going to be using Termination Protocol. Holy Nova going to be blocked out by Nas just on time. Termination Protocol onto the turret. Did a huge chunk of damage. Red Mist going to be going wild. Nas taking a lot of damage, but still sustaining so well. He is 17 stacks into that Dragon's Eye. Maokai taking a lot of damage. Going to have to back away. You did have the Fountain popped out by Hallie Peterson. Going to be using that Crucible to give Jazville just that much more sustain. Nice Holy Nova. Going to be using that into the fray. Jazville trying to escape. He will be going very low, and they're going to be letting that Kraken push onto this choke point turret. This is mostly a win for Team from Mars, as they do get 500 extra gold per member, and only one turret down on the side of Team Misfits.
Yeah, that team fight was all over the place. Unfortunately for Mars, Blackfeather had to use both his ult charges really early on in that fight, and so he wasn't really contributing like at all. It was all up to that Rhyme. That Rhyme stacked up really nice, and if it wasn't for the 18 stack Dragon Eye, I don't see that team fight going as well as it did for Mars.
Yeah, those stacking items are going to be game changing. Like every damage based hero, like Rona, Alpha, Rain, Blackfeather, they all got Breaking Point or this Dragon's Eye, which you really need, because these team fights do last very long. So when you got onto these fights that do able you to scale up, like the ones that are going to win are mainly going to be Rona and Rain in these situations. They're going to be winning so much damage potential. Now you saw their Rain just able to put down those Winter Spires onto Alpha and Rona, to Jazville and Maokai. Just done a huge chunk of damage, and he regens so hard because, as you did say, he does have now that Eve of Harvest, and also going to have a little bit of a reverse engagement. That Crystal Sentry, it was down. They did take the 3 lives out of it, and Ali Peterson does get the information. They know what's going on. and Nas just trying to go close to his team. They're going to be taking down this minion wave. Prime Directive going to be missing out for Maokai. These teams are now looking for an engagement anytime soon. Look at that. Nicely done. Misfits are just going to be pushing throughout this lane a little bit. And they're just on the other side of the map. What's going on here?
They're both just counter pushing each other. It looks like From Mars is not going to continue this, and they're going to go home. If you look across the board, everything is even on items. The biggest buy, though, is that Echo onto the Arden. That is going to make a huge difference in this team fight, right?
No, a lot of damage healing. Oh, nice divine intervention on Jasper. Able to give him that much more sustain. Going to be using a block. Nice. Holy Nova going to be connecting onto Rain. Just pushing him away from his allies. That very defensive bullet able to get nice stun onto Ali Peterson. I mean, that's going to be a 2-2 situation as Jazzville and Halo Kitty did go down. But that's when Nas is going to do a huge job. The stacks. He's now 18 stacks into that Dragon's Eye. Marco going to be able to shut down this Arden, and Ali Peterson did go down also. Going to be using a Prime Directive. Mother Camp is not available, and he's going to try and show him down. Termination Protocol is now up. He will be using it. But look at that. Trian going to be getting the root, and that's going to be totally to the advantage of Nas, just dealing so much damage. Trying to keep Maokai in range. He does get the slow Wizard's auto attacks, and Maokai, I think, that's actually understood what's going on here. He will be going down, and that's going to be an ace to the team, to the side of From Mars. And you see Raim how effective it is into an Alpha. Just does so much damage and just locks Alpha down, just not able to run away.
I actually think Alpha might have been able to fight there. Raim was out of energy. Literally was only able to auto-attack her. So I think if Alpha actually just decided to fight, might be able to win that duel. But as you said, the fortified HP from Raim just too much to handle.
Yeah, it was very
again,
powerful.
That Echo coming into play last team fight was just insane. That Vanguard just really making plays, keeping that Black Feather alive just a few seconds longer for Raim to get the kill onto Rona.
And as we see there,
Looks like we're getting into the next team fight.
Yeah, the fight is now starting. Ali Peterson just trying to help out his teammates with those Holy Nova. They do not always connect. They're going to use a Divine Intervention onto Jazzville. He does not have the Echo quite yet. He's still bidding it. Holy Nova getting a 3-man CC. Nicely done that. Oh my god, that damage was huge. Hello Kitty just trying to stay a little bit out of range. We're going to be using the Faint of Heart. Able to shut down Maokai. Ali Peterson going to be a little bit caught out there. He knows what's going on. He knows he was going down. Jazzville just going to be trying to get his HP back, going back to his base. And it's cracking. Almost full HP. Going to be starting to hit on that first Vayne turret. Vayne turret almost down. It's gone down in less than 5 seconds. Jazzville trying to do a 1 versus 3. And it's going to be complicated. He's already got 9 stacks into that breaking point. I mean, this will be game. Yeah, it's going to be game number 1 to the side of Team From Mars up on Misfits. As Jazzville going to be going to be given over the ace. Game number 1 to From Mars. Very dominant gameplay. And that Raim was game changing.
Oh yeah, it was by far the best pick they had. They used that blind pick to perfection. I think the Black Feather was an amazing pick as well. The flex pick, just making it all come together From Mars.
Yeah, they did do a very nice game. Unfortunately, Ali Peterson did not have the time to build up that Echo, and that's something I was talking about in draft. It was going to be a huge item. When you get that, it's an all new power spike onto this this Grace. Just able to get double huge healing onto your allies, onto this Rona or Alpha, depending of who you need it. You need to apply it on first. And unfortunately, she did never get to that power spike with the Echo. So I think that was a huge loss on the side of Misfits to not have that double divine intervention. Yeah, it's going to be game number 1 of this BO5. As a reminder, this is the BO5 for the finals of NACL. Misfits up against Team From Mars. From Mars taking game number 1 as we do try and enter draft of game number 2 as soon as possible. And you're like, after this games, you know, what do you expect them to do in this next draft? Are they going to be probably banning down these Ardens, or what do you expect?
I see them first picking Rona. Although Daniel is an amazing Rona player, I just don't think the first pick Rona worked out in their favor. So I expect them to probably go back to a weapon power range carry. with some bruisers in the jungle. But from Mars, their draft is really on point. So we'll see what Misfits can do in this game too.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. It's very interesting into this BO5 first game to Team From Mars as we do now enter the draft for game number 2. From Mars is going to be onto the A side and Misfits onto the B side. The tables are now switched. As you see, first ban Gwen on the side of From Mars. We talked about it before draft of game number 1. I'm going to be having it. Gwen ban right off the bat. And also the Rona ban.
Say that one more time. Sorry, my mic cut out. Or my
yeah, From Mars first ban Gwen and Misfits first ban Rona. So they do understand that they do not want to let, as you said there, Daniel on those Rona plays. They do not want to let Daniel get that Rona pick. And they're going to have a first pick on the Arden on the side of From Mars.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I really like this draft so far. I think the Gwen ban is fantastic here. I think the Rona ban's good as well. Arden, just because I think he's probably the best overall support / captain in 3.0.
Yeah, he is very versatile. He can be played with many different heroes. So we're going to have to see when they want to go and pick against it. Might want to pick up a Grace as a first roam. They can also pick a Lance that's been shown to be quite effective in 3.0. Many potential picks up into this game. And we do not have then the Vox that got picked up. We did have Chernwalker banned last game on the side of From Mars when they won the B side. Maybe we're going to see a pickup of this Chernwalker and possibly a Vox that hasn't been picked up or banned into last game. So it would be interesting. Like, what do you think about Vox in 3.0, Xeno?
In the 5v5 setting, Vox is amazing. I don't think CP is very good in 3v3 personally. I would love to see it as a weapon power carry, if anything. It's still really solid in 5v5 and 3v3. So if they do go the Vox route, I would power.
And there would Misfits. I talked about that first game. They did ban it off. Misfits banned it off onto the second ban on A side. I'm going to be picking up right off the bat this Cruel. Cruel just so dominant in 3.0. As I said earlier, his passive got a huge buff. You get that passive up so often, it just enables you to stick on those enemy targets so often, also get a little bit of extra burst damage when you engage with that passive. So Cruel just picked up right away. And like I would give this right away to Misfits because it's such a dominant pick. It's really hard to counter.
It's really hard to counter, but in 3v3, it's definitely counterable. But the biggest issue is Maokai is absolutely amazing on this pick. I would definitely say this is one of his best junglers. So it's going to be interesting to see what From Mars goes this to counter this. They could go the hyper kite comp, which is like a Petal, or like Petal Vox, Petal Ringo. Cruel's really good in Ringo, so I don't expect the Ringo, but we'll see what they decide to go into this.
Yeah, indeed. As you said, a Petal pickup on the side of From Us would be a very smart pickup, as it does counter into a Cruel. We're going to see a Black Feather ban for Misfits and a Saw ban for Team From Us. So I do not really get why they wanted to ban Saw on side of From Mars when you're up against a Cruel. Like, do you have any? What do you think of that ban Saw against a Cruel?
There's a couple options here. It's either a throwaway ban, trying to get a better pickup later on in the draft, or they've seen Misfits run this, protect the Saw comp with Cruel. I don't think that would be it, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, so they did ban those two heroes. And we're going to be having then the Vox. We were talking about Vox, just a few seconds ago. And you're going to have a second pickup Vox comboed with this Cruel. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'd expect then a CP Vox, or they can go for the double weapon on even CP Cruel. Like, these two heroes can flex really well, not into their position, into their build path. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have Kestrel and Samuel picked up on side of From Mars, just you said a kite comp is not the petal, as we did say, but it's going to be then Samuel Kestrel. There's so much burst potential and scale, like the burst from those glimmer shots coming out from the Kestrel and the scale Dragon's Eye that should be built up onto the Samuel. There's so much range to try and get away from the Cruel, to not stick onto that Cruel. The Cruel has a huge dive potential with his passive Shadows Empowers Me. So I do really like this draft. Like, what do you think of that? Like two range heroes, Kestrel and Samuel against the Cruel.
I love this comp coming from Mars. It's exactly what you want to do. You want to kite out that Cruel. The only way that Misfits can get an advantage in this game is if they really get aggressive in the early game, where Cruel can snowball against the Samuel. But if game one was any indication of the series as a whole, From Mars rotates really well. Daniel is an amazing player and can just rotate around the map really solidly. So it's going to be really difficult to get that snowball off.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, go for it, man.
Because we do have I just got shocked a little bit there. Sorry, but we do have a Celeste pickup on Misfits. That means they got Cruel, Vox, and Celeste. So probably going to be seeing a Cruel support into this role. So I'm really interested to see how this game is going to pan out, because we have Cruel, Vox, and Celeste. I'd expect a Celeste jungle and a weapon lane Vox. So oh my god, this draft is so interesting. And yeah, support Cruel probably coming into this game.
I don't personally decision. The whole idea is that Celeste can beat Samuel in the jungle, and as of 3.0, even 2 patches ago, Samuel's absolutely amazing once you get Dragon's Eye, Clockwork, Broken Myth, really solid damage, and in my opinion, out damages Celeste right now. So I do with this draft it all, because if you look at the matchups, Arden in the support path, Arden outscales Kestrel into Vox. In my opinion, Kestrel can outscale if played properly. Celeste into Samuel, I would say it's even, but so overall, I would give this draft over to From Mars.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to follow up with you there, Zeno. I'm going to give it over to Team From Mars. Because Cruel now, if he does, then we're going to see as we do slowly try and enter this game number 2. But Cruel, in this support role, he's going to be able to tank up a lot more. But not, even if you tank, it is going to be very effective to help out your teammate. As you said, Dragon's Eye on Samuel is one of those core items, the stacking item that just works so well onto a Samuel. And basically, Cruel is going to be a free stacking point for Samuel. He's just going to be able to put a few shots, and Cruel is going to be taking damage after damage, slowly going to be scaling up. And after that, if they're able to take down this Cruel, or even if they don't take down Cruel, if they just want to change their focus over onto Vox and Celeste when they got those stacks up, for me, the draft seems super smart on the side of From Mars, just trying to bait out the Cruel. And building up their stacks is going to be so easy, because Cruel is just going to try and dive in, get probably a few stuns up Wisdom from Helzar. But yeah, it's a complicated game, as we do in about 30 seconds. We're going to be entering into this game number 2. And it's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what Misfits does with this comp, because in my opinion, it doesn't exactly... it's not very cohesive. I think their only option is to get on top of one of the squishies and instant kill them when Vox gets items, when he can outduel Kestrel up close.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Ali Peterson is going to try and allow his team to focus down an enemy hero. Again, that huge CC was from Helzar. As we do now enter into the House and Fold for game number 2. As a reminder, this is a BO5 for the NACL finals. Misfits up against Team From Mars. Team From Mars did take game number 1. Very dominant gameplay with that Raim into the alpha. I'm going to have to see if it's going to be once again From Mars taking the win, or if Misfits want to do a little bit of a comeback and trying to take a game against the Team From Mars. As you do see Ali Peterson going a little bit into the enemy jungle there, trying to get a few early poke damages onto Daniel, just clearing out that vision. Yeah, look, Maokai did get that regen buff right there. And so you're going to be rotating to the mid jungle. Like, what do you expect to come out into this early phase? Like, I think Ali Peterson, even though he's going to be in that support role, he's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Ali Peterson has high base damage. They're going to have to use that effectively to really maximize, I don't know, efficiency from this pick.
Yeah, as you see,
getting really good slow down onto Hello Kitty.
Ooh, Spectral Smite going to be coming out. It did force a healing flask for Hello Kitty. That means in the future it will not have that available anymore. But Ali Peterson was only level 1, did not have that Dead Man's Rush. That would have, I think he could have gave a first blood over to Misfits. Because getting that extra slow on Hello Kitty, keeping him at bay to allow Jazrael to dash out more damage. It could have changed the game, but he does now have that level 2. And he's just going to try and stay up there to try and probably get a killing blow onto Hello Kitty. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what this pick offers. A lot of pick potential early. Looks like there's some aggression coming in from Nas down in the jungle towards this Elder Trent.
Yeah, just trying to zone out a little bit there with those Malice and Verdicts and Heliogenesis. And Nas just going there, but look at that. You do have the Drifting Gnar coming out, trying to steal that camp. It will be secured by an auto attack of Maokai. The scale was the CP damage, so he was able to take that camp. But Nas and Daniel do not want to let that one slip away. They're going to be trying to enter the enemy jungle. Core Collapse going to be missing out for Maokai. Blood for Blood able to reposition. Does use the Vanguard. That's going to be a reverse engagement there. Daniel taking way too much damage. He does have the healing flask. Looks like Nas is not calling it a day quite yet. He's trying to get that damage out. Trying to steal. He will be securing, though, that healing Treant. And Ali Peterson trying to get a little bit of damage on Daniel. But Nas just doing way too much. The Glimmer Shots of Hello Kitty. They're going to be able to shut down their Maokai. That's going to be giving over a kill to Daniel. Did get it with the Blood for Blood at that point. Nicely done. Yeah, first blood over to the team from Mars, like taking the advantage once again in game number 2.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed that they actually were able to take that fight. Since Samuel used his snipe away the Elder Trent, he had no cooldowns there. If Misfit and recognized that, they would have won that fight, but instead they allowed the Samuel just to get it back up, and it's looking like they're going to secure the Elder Trent again. Oh,
no, Nas got it.
Yeah, sniped away by Nas.
Yeah, Wiz, his Corrupted Genius passive, was able to steal that one. Core Collapse going to be missing out. Look at that, he's still engaging it. He's doing so much damage. He will be going into a 1v2 and coming out victorious, picking up a kill onto Maokai, making it a 2-0 onto the death board. Ali Peterson still going in there, but looks like Nas is just going to try and steal away those camps. Ali Peterson just trying to stay away. Going to be securing it with Malice and Verdict. And looks like Ali Peterson going to be calling it a day right there. And Maokai does know that his jungle is now gone. They're going to be taking a full rotation. Gold advantage is almost at 2k, and we're only 4 minutes in. That is huge, Gino.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Samuel's going to scale so nicely into this mid game. Going to probably have an item and a half up on the Celeste. And what I would love to see from Mars is transitioning this into a turret pickup, into probably Crystal Sentries. It really depends on when Nas really capitalizes on all that farm, taking all those kills, and goes back to shop or goes to the jungle shop here.
Yeah, look at that. Just going to be backing out. You do see that Ali Peterson there in the lane is just trying to give a few kills over to his team. He's trying to get a little bit of an engagement onto Hello Kitty. It's not going to be working out. And Daniel, once again, going into the enemy jungle. The Maokai doesn't want to know about that. And look at that. Nas just coming in so well. She's going to be able to secure 2 extra camps. That's going to be an extra kill over to Team From Mars. Just diving so well into the enemy jungle. On this side of Misfits, because they know their rotation, they know what is going on, they know when to invade, and they're doing it so well. And the gold advantage was already at 2k, and now it's going to be hit. It does just hit now the 3k mark, and he's looking for more. He's looking for an engagement, and have the Dead Man Rush able to slow down with the Vanguard, just helping out so much onto Nas. He's a nice Core Collapse. Oblivion just going to be raining down, shutting down Jazrael right away. And Dragon's Eye, you have 1-shot-1 kill, connecting onto Ali Peterson. Spectral Smite, not doing enough damage to take down Daniel. But look at that, Nas, he is 17 stacks into his Dragon's Eye. And look at that, almost taking down. It's going to be another one.
Nice.
We are 6 minutes in, and it's Dragon's Eye stack, and that Marlis and Verdict, empowered with the Drifting Dark, did 600 early damage. That's just disgusting at this point into the game.
Oh yeah, and it's just gonna get worse from here. I expect From Mars to just keep pushing down this lane, abusing this Samuel.
Fountain going to be put out by Daniel, able to save Nas just before he was going to take a little extra damage from Ali Peterson. It looks like the Crystal Sentry just respawned, but might go down right away. But Daniel going to be a little bit in a sticky situation there, taking a lot of damage. Those Holy Novas still raining down. Nas going to be using a knife. Oh my god, Korkalas does it. Oh yeah, able to lock down. Wait for it, unfortunately. That will also be doom time for Hello Kitty. Daniel still surviving it, going to be trying to avoid giving over the ace. And he just purchased now that Crucible to stop that from Elzar, the Wait for it, or the Core Collapse coming out from the 3 members of Misfits. That's going to be a very useful item. And Dragon's Eye just got purchased onto Maokai, trying to get the engagement there onto Daniel, but Core Collapse still up if he does want to try and use it. Spectral Smite, Daniel able to survive it still. And yeah, I thought they were going to try and actually go and take the kill onto Daniel, but she did keep, Maokai did keep up that Core Collapse. So it's not going to be another kill. Still 7 minutes in, 5 kills to 2 for Team From Mars. And gold advantage now, 4,000 gold advantage. That's just huge, and it's going to keep going this way. I did see a 1-1 kill go down onto Jazville. Like, yeah, the scale potential of From Mars, like, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going forward this way as they do try to take this gold miner.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Oh, nearly sniped away there.
Yeah.
Secured, though. Like, Samuel is on Dragon's Eye Clockwork. Maokai is not even close to this second item on the Celeste. Literally, if they double infuse here, From Mars can just take over the entire map. What I expect them to do is just keep this pressure up. Oh, beautiful pick-off here.
No, be careful. They're trying to shut down Hello Kitty, grab the Vanguard and the Fountain. Able to keep Hello Kitty nice and lively. That saved Daniel, doing such a nice move, just rotating over. And now you have Nas, wants to be a part of this, trying to zone out a little bit Maokai. Just doing such a huge work. Look at that Drifting Dark, just sniping down. It's just so effective. Maokai, be careful there. He's already at 5 stacks on that Dragon's Eye, which is not a huge 1-1 kill. Oh, able to shut down Maokai. And this choke point turret will be going down. But they want more. Daniel does use his Gauntlet there to try and keep Ali Peterson and Jazville in the range area. They'll be able to shut down Ali Peterson. The wait for it. Look at that. Jazville going to be taken down. That's going to be an ace once again for Team From Mars. And they want more. They want to try and take down this turret. The Core Collapse does connect onto Hello Kitty. The Oblivion going to be able to put asleep Maokai onto that Celeste. Solar Storm going to be raining through, missing out completely. And that's a huge win once again for Team From Mars, just showing their dominance in this second game.
So let me just go over that fight a little bit. So it looks like a beautiful play by Misfits. They get that Cruel Sword. They're about to kill Hello Kitty, and a beautiful ultimate comes in from Nas, sleeping both damage sources. Then Daniel comes in with the Vanguard. Hello Kitty gets out, and then the re-engage with the Drifting Dark from Nas. Absolutely obliterates them. Another team fight comes in, ultimate from Cruel.
From Hellstar did connect onto Nasman. Once again, Daniel saving the day, able to give the sustained potential to Nas. Jazville still able to stack up 9 stacks onto his breaking point, and he's doing a reverse kill there, able to shut down Hello Kitty and Nas. And it looks like they're going to be changing over Tep focus to Daniel. And that's going to be probably an ace. Does use the Vanguard, trying to win time. That Sonic Zoom across the wall, going to be using the Atlas, and does use his own healing flask there 2 seconds before the respawn of Hello Kitty, and that's not going to be the ace. Nicely done. Daniel doing an awesome move, just avoiding giving over that ace. But Daniel should be going down any second now. He's going to be using a Vanguard well, no way Daniel's going to survive that. Yeah, he's going to be shut down, but just protecting his team from taking an ace.
Yeah, definitely a hero play there. That was really amazingly played by Daniel. The biggest issue there was Hello Kitty overstepped, went for the deep dive versus Maokai, which allowed Jazville to build up those breaking point stacks on him because he is a squishy target. It'll stack up really fast. And it allowed Jazville to make an amazing play. Really well played by Misfits to take advantage of that mistake.
Yeah, it did work out just fine. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a mistake from Hello Kitty, as they do try and take down this gold miner, but you have Celeste that wants to be a part of this. Does have the zoning potential. Oblivion going to be blocked out with a Crucible. Now you have this only able to get a nice CC amount onto Jazville. A little bit caught out. And just apply a 3-man Atlas Pauldron. And you do see the re-engagement there of the crew. Just taking way too much damage as Watcher 1 kill does rain through. Not going to be connecting with that. Soda Storm from Marco done a huge amount of damage. Look at that. Hello Kitty just rotating around. I think a little bit of miscoordination because Daniel and Nas didn't go the right way. They could have tried and lock them down into that choke point. They're going to be blocking out that Atlas Pauldron there. Nicely done by Jazville. The zoning potential from Hello Kitty and Nas is just huge, and they're going to be bursting through the ground. Jazville, Ali Peterson did respawn just then, so and also Marco was able to back out to base. No ace quite yet, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But you do have then Daniel onto those ward treads, disabling Hello Kitty and Nas to back away when they do get engaged by that crew. That did happen twice, and that's going to be their win condition, Sino. If they're able to get the stun from the crew, they could turn this game around.
It's definitely a possibility. A stun comes in from Cruel right now, but I don't think they have the damage to follow it up.
Yeah, fortunately, 1-shot 1 kill. Going to be touching, going to be connecting onto Ali Peterson. Maokai just respecting the damage output. Just going to be backing away. Jazville still looks like wanted to try and engage that, but not going to be doing that right yet. But yeah, like, those engagements are going to be game-changing in these team fights.
I'm really impressed that Misfits didn't go for a play there. Hello Kitty was out of energy, below half HP. Nas was at half HP, just used his Drifting Dark. I am really impressed they did not try to make a play happen. Really unfortunate misplay by Misfits, in my opinion. And they're still really far behind. Their only hope, in my opinion, is Jazville stacking up with this breaking point on a squishy target. And if From Mars plays just like they did last team fight, which is frontline to frontline, there's no possible way for Vox or Celeste to stack their Dragon's Eye or Breaking Point on this Arden fast enough.
Yeah, because he is indeed very tanky, and if they're able to take the mistakes, as did happen earlier from Hello Kitty, they can stack up so effectively. And you see a double CC with the core collapse and the from Elsar. Unfortunately, that will be the end by Nas just being a little bit too lonely. But look at that, Hello Kitty just able to pick up so much damage potential. Markai, that Glimmer Shot doing a huge chunk of damage. With Jazville slowly stacking up 13 stacks onto his breaking point. This might be the game over. This might be the turnaround that they wanted. But look at that, the positioning of Hello Kitty was on point. But it's not going to be enough. Jazville, 15 stacks on that breaking point, doing so much damage, and that is what Misfits wants. If they're able to stack up, if they're able to burst down, in this case, Nasta did do a mistake, they can win this game, they can do an awesome comeback, and this gold miner should be secured. They do have the Cruel, just able to Spectral Smite it down. It's going to be secured. Manas wants to be a part of this. Trying to zone out, Wiz is Marley some verdicts. He does have the Drift in Dark. I'm not going to be finding any shots right now.
No, that was an amazing play by Ally Peterson, and it's not over yet. It looks like he's going to go in for a slow, maybe an ultimate play here.
Engaging once again, but look at that. The zoning from this Bomb Maikai is just way too much. 1-shot 1 kill going to be connecting onto the gold miner that was into that path. So a little bit of a wasted ultimate there. Looks like they're just going to try and look to zone them out. Maikai does not want to let them engage properly, but now Hello Kitty joining the mix, and probably a team fight coming out anytime soon, but no, Ali Peterson did back to base.
Yeah, this is a super tense situation. What was looking like a complete snowball from Mars is being stalled out pretty well by Misfits, in all honesty. They got 3 turrets by like 11 minutes. That's usually GG for any game, and Misfits has stalled out wonderfully because of an amazing play by Jazville and an amazing CC chain by the Cruel and Celeste down here at the Jungle Shop. So we'll see if they can replicate that. I would love to see more flank plays by Ally Peterson on this Cruel.
And as you see there, just look at that, the zoning starting for Maokai. The Echo just got purchased from Daniel. That's going to be very important in this fight. But unfortunately, look at that, the nice stun from that from Elzar, going to be able to connect onto the box. And that's going to be the end for Ali Peterson and Nas. 2-2 situation. Jazville stacking up very slowly. Is breaking point call. Collapse does connect onto Daniel, able to get a nice amount of CC. McCracken joining that little fight, getting a few killing damage blows onto Jazville. So they're just going to wait now. I do not expect them to engage anytime soon. But Maokai can transzone them out. Hello Kitty just has so much base damage potential with those Glimmer shots. I think it wouldn't be to their advantage. And look at that, Jazville there. Going to be a little bit caught out. They're going to try and take down Jazville. That Glimmer shot going to be missing out. Hello Kitty going to be connecting 2 Glimmer shots, and that crit damage from Hello Kitty is just huge on that double torrent monocle build. Look at that, 638. He cannot outstand the damage. Hello Kitty being an absolute sniper with those Glimmer shots, and he's going to now change his focus to the Kraken as we are 60 minutes in, and this might be game to Team from Mars once again.
That was absolutely insane. That team fight actually went in the favor of Misfits. In the start of it, Daniel missed out on his echo and didn't echo properly in that fight, so they got the kill on Samuel really fast. They did trade the Cruel, but they got Samuel out and got Arden down to below a quarter HP, and Hello Kitty was super low, and then they misplayed by splitting apart down by this Tribush, giving Mars the opportunity to get the snipe off onto Jazville and finish up this Kraken. This should be the GG push.
It might be a GG, but they have shown the potential on the side of Misfits to come back in bad situations. And Kraken taking a little bit of damage. Celeste can deal a fair amount of damage with those Hero Genesis. The Glimmer shots, look at that. Kestra can just take down the objective so fast. Crucible going to be popped out a little bit too late by Daniel to stop that from Hellsart. Stacking from that oh no. Wait, the Kraken's still getting there. Still getting there. Watch one kill, connect. Oh no. Able to get out of the range with that Sonic Zoom. Jazville trying to get out of the range. But look at that, the Sonic Zoom. Trying to reposition onto Sonic. Double CC! 2-man CC by Daniel. That was huge. That gauntlet was game-changing at the end. Anyway, it might be GG. Yeah, it's going to be an ace secured by Hello Kitty with those Glimmer shots. Game number 2, once again, to Team from Mars, taking the win, taking so much advantage, scaling their early game advantage into the late game, taking early turrets, early objectives, early kills and aces. And yeah, once again, just GG to Team from Mars, just showing a very dominant performance.
Yeah, absolutely amazing plays by From Mars. Misfits did have some really amazing points where they did take advantage of their comp, but it wasn't enough. I do think that it was more positional errors on the side of From Mars. So great game, really well played.
Yeah, like sometimes on the side of Team from Mars, they did have a little bit of positioning errors. And like that's the thing, you saw Misfits took fully advantage of that. They'd done a mistake and they will highly focus onto that mistake to try and turn the fight around to their advantage. It did work out in some cases. They got like 2 aces, if I am not mistaken, but it wasn't enough. So it will be game number 2 to Team from Mars. And this is a BO5 of NACL as a reminder. That means that if From Mars win this game number 3, it will be GG, super fast. We could have gone to game number 4 or 5. This might be a 3-0, and that would be huge into this final of NACL as we do wait to enter once again this draft anytime soon. So like what do you expect? These teams are going to be back on their respective side of game number 1. And I think their mindset has probably changed. The Cruel didn't work out as well as it did. Like they could have tried it into a carry, like into a damage role. They didn't do it this game. They went for the support Cruel. Like what do you expect now as we try to enter probably this last game of NACL?
It's certainly looking like a 3-0 from Mars, but I have faith that Misfits will pull out a game and give us a game 4. It's going to be hard to say, not knowing exactly what Misfits' comfort picks are. I feel like they're a pretty eclectic team. I do think that they'll look to put a Cruel into their comp and make sure that it goes on Maokai this time and not the support.
And now we have just entered the draft. Sorry?
Oh, awesome. Oh, for From Mars, I think that they're going to just keep doing what they're doing. Like their draft is really amazing and all these players can play a huge amount of their hero pools are very deep. And so I can't wait to see what this draft holds for us.
Yeah, they did show a lot of dominant draft. And now into the draft, we have the 2 first bans. Misfit banning off the Lance like in game number 1. And From Mars banning off the Gwen, very dominant pick into the 3.0 meta. And then once again, we're going to have him blind pick from Misfits, the Rona, like game number 1. It didn't work out. Then they're trying it out again.
I'm not really understanding this draft here for now. Because if From Mars replicates what they did game 1, then it's just going to be a repeat.
Yeah, because they also picked up the Ardent. Ardent was picked into this Rona pickup last game. So that means for the moment, it's an absolute rematch of this game. But they're going to be banning off Petal. On the side of From Mars, they're banning Petal. I think they did ban that. They might want to try and pick up a Cruel because Petal is one of those counters into a Cruel and also counter into Attacker. Attacker, weapon Attacker that did show itself very dominant in the 3.0 patch. So possibly a pickup on the side of From Mars. We're going to have to wait and see what they want to ban. They're going to be banning off Cruel. So I think they did guess it. They did ban the Petal. They said probably they want to pick up the Cruel as it does counter. So taking that Cruel, very dominant pick into the jungle. They're just taking it off right off the bat. So I would say very nice drafting of Misfits onto the second ban.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I still think From Mars is at a huge advantage with this first pick Rona. They can easily go multiple routes. They can go Rhyme again if they go the dive or a Cruel.
A Vox.
Vox pick is fine as well. Ultimate Kite versus Rona. You saw it in other competitions with Weapon Power Sky, Weapon Power Vox being the main counters to Rona, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah, just able to get away with those Sonic Zooms out of the reach of Rona. So I would expect something to combo up with the Rona to be able to try and lock down onto this Vox. Because if Vox is able to just slip away, get out of reach, and build up those breaking point stacks, so he might try and build up into his itemization. Like they can do that up with so many heroes. You do have the Grace, and unfortunately the dive is still big, but to try and lock down a Vox is not the best hero. So like I would say, like as you said, From Mars just at such an advantage against this first pick Rona. I would say it's once again a mistake that happened game number 1, and they're just doing a repeat of that game.
Yeah, I give them a lot of respect. Like, didn't make it happen the first game. Let's see if we can run it again. I feel like you could have gone more for comfort picks rather than anything, but we'll see.
It's going to be a Grace pickup into the roam position for Misfit. So the lockdown potential onto that Vox is not going to be huge. He's just going to be able to dance around, build up his stacks. It's going to be slow because Rona and Grace are going to be very, very tanky. So he's going to be slow, building up slowly. But if he's able to get out of reach all the time, and also with the Vanguard of Ioden just able up to be even more slippery, I would give this once again like to the side of From Mars. But this is wow. That's a smart pickup there for Misfits. They did know they had to do something to keep this Vox in range. They're going to be picking up the Batiste. So with the Ordain, with the Fearsome Shade, just able to get a huge amount of CC out. And that's going to be answered by a sword pickup. Last pick for Team From Mars. I don't know what to think. What do you think of that, Xeno?
I mean, it's not a bad pick. It's definitely not the pick I would have gone with in this situation. But the whole idea is if it's a CP Saw jungle, this is a dive comp coming out from Misfits. They're going to have to dive into this CP Saw. And if you know anything about CP Saw, once he's fully stacked up and he puts down his ult, he just outputs so much damage and can basically annihilate whole teams with his ult alone. So I don't think it's a bad pick here. I do want to give the draft over to Misfits this time. So I would love to see this game go over to Misfits and we see a game 4. But yeah, we'll just have to find out.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because the CC god that is Batiste can just lock down any enemy hero on the side of From Mars. So I'm very interested and intrigued to see how that Batiste is going to be turning out into this game number 3. So yeah, as a reminder, this is a BO5 for the finals of NACL. From Mars up against Misfits. From Mars took the 2 first games, so they are now in an advantage. They are now 2-0 into this game. If they do win this game number 3, it will be a victory. They will be the winners of this season of NACL. And if Misfits do take the win, we will be probably seeing a game number 4, but that is not sure because the drafts are much better this game on the side of Team Misfits, and a lot more counterable up against from us. But now we are into this onto the House and Fold, ready to battle for what might be the last game of NACL. I am hyped and can't wait to see what these two teams are going to offer us into this game.
Oh yeah, this game's going to be intense. Both these teams are going to throw everything they got into it. It looks like just a standard rotation for now. And it looks like we have roster switches coming in. Daniel's going to be doing that CP Saw jungle. And Hello Kitty is going to be that support.
Yeah, Daniel did do a lot of good work onto that support Arden last game. So even the 2 first games, he did do an awesome job into that support role. So seeing that switch, I was not ready to see that coming out, but looks like they're going to try and focus it down. Daniel does have that roadie run available, but does get rooted out, able to get and secure. But it's going to be secured and stolen by Jazville. As they do try and get a little bit of an engagement, going to be using that Ordain, trying to get the burst damage onto Nas. It's not going to be enough. Nas going to be able to back out to base. He still has that healing flask in case any future engagements come handy. Yeah, first, little steal on that Elder Trim by Jazville. And that's just to start. Misfits, they have to show dominant performance in this third game because otherwise they will be going down and they will be losing into the finals, which would be really bad for them because they are a very high level team and unfortunately today doesn't seem to be really their day.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be looking for an invade here. They get a huge amount of damage down onto Daniel, but Daniel does secure that heal and pops his flask, so he'll get up to full right away. They will secure this mid, though, so get a little bit of something out of it. They pop the flask and get the mid. I'd love to see them fight here. Yep.
Daniel, awesome. Going to use a nice Ordain, able to block down onto Daniel. He did pop that healing flask a little bit earlier, so they knew that they could try and pick down Daniel. That's going to be first blood over to Misfits. Now, an overall shift from the 2 first games. They've shown very aggressive gameplay, and I think they want to go to game number 4, and that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, this is what I've been wanting to see from this squad. They have all the skill, they have all the talent to really pull out games and pull out wins. And I really just want to see them keep putting on this aggression and snowballing their lead. Because once they get ahead, the CP Saw is just going to melt underneath this Rona. So, yeah, really great to see. Saw goes home. It looks like he's going for that aftershock first. Rona has her heavy still. Baptiste hasn't shopped yet, and he's looking to shove into Mars's jungle again, which is really risky being so undershopped compared to Daniel at this point.
Yeah, because they do have the info, but they're going to have the Holy Nova able to pop up Daniel. Going to be using that Roadie Run. It's not going to be enough. He's not going to be doing enough damage. Hello Kitty going to be following into the path of this Saw. And that's going to be 3-0 with 3 minutes in. 3 kills to Misfits. They shit on. Is this the same players? Because their attitude has really changed. Gold advantage almost hitting. Yeah, it did surpass the 1k gold advantage. This is a shift of mentality. They're trying to take their win conditions in hand, playing aggressive, and as you said into the draft phase, they must dive the Saw. If they dive the Saw and just lock him down while he's using, for example, his suppressing fire, or before he has had the possibility to use his ultimate, his Mad Cannon, they can take the win because after that, Nas is a little bit of a sitting duck. He can still dance around, stack up. The stack is going to be building up so slowly because you're against very tanky heroes, against this Baptiste, this Rona, and Grace. Misfits, they know what they have to do, and they must try and shut them down that Saw as fast as possible. But Maokai overstaying a little bit there, taking a bit of damage to Crystal Sentry, tried to join the mix. He's going to be getting out of range.
Yeah, it looks like Maokai went for the Shattered Glass first, which is it's really strong in this sense. The roster coming in from Mars is pretty squishy. So it's good here. I definitely prefer the Clockwork Rush. And I think it would be super effective here with the Rona Grace. I would love to see Grace go into an Echo earlier than she did the first game. From this, she does have the Fountain complete, so they are ahead in items on their support. They should definitely push this aggression and go for more objectives. They did get this first turret, so that's amazing. And they finish up Serpent's Mask and get an infuse down onto this Rona. So they're looking to definitely snowball this game and end it fast.
Yeah, indeed, because they're trying to pick up a kill onto Nasm. He's going to be able to slip away. Very slippery, that box, indeed. Healing Flask going to be used onto Ali Peterson. And now the engagement, Fearsome Shade able to get a nice amount of CC onto Hello Kitty. Taking way too much damage. So is Daniel trying to run away. Did use his boot. Does have his ready run on cooldown, so he will not be using that right away. Maokai trying to pick up the kill. Crystal Sentry is going to be joining the mix there. Just able to protect him out. And Rona taking way too much damage. Jazville, you have to back out, my friend, or you will be going down. And looks like Sword just a little bit caught out there. He's going to be going down to minions. Is this EU? Oh, is this EU Trin? Wow. They're going to send the focus to the Crystal Sentry.
Really amazing plays by Misfits. And it looked like From Mars was all going to get away. If Daniel didn't misplay there, they definitely get away. It's actually an issue that Misfits needs to correct if they really want to win this game, is their target focus. They keep splitting apart, keep going for different targets, and not completing a kill. So it's definitely scary in that chance, but they are 2.3k up. Huge advantage for Misfits. I definitely think they are in the driver's seat this game.
Yeah, they are taking advantage, and into this game, you do see Daniel building first item Shatterglass, which you were expecting to come out with that Aftershock. He did go with the Shatterglass, so he's going to be able to burst a lot more and have a lot more reliable damage. Like, what do you think of that, Xeno? Like, first item Shatterglass on Saw.
It's not bad. I think it's probably the better pick than the Aftershock here, just because Baptiste is locking him down every fight. But Aftershock is basically the only way that he's going to melt through this front line at this point. So really interesting to see him go for such a high damage item.
Yeah, and you see Jazville just going into the enemy jungle. He did have the Mad Cannon coming out from Daniel. He's not doing enough damage right now. And Ali Peterson does pop that healing fast just in case he did get caught out. And careful there, Nas, out of position. Going to be going into the enemy jungle. He did push that wave, so he's going to be able to back out to base quite safely.
Yeah, let's look up pickups here. Nas did just finish that breaking point, has that Shiv breaking point build complete. He's looking to just kite away and get all those stacks up. So that's a huge pickup for him. I don't think he's taking enough just yet. If they can hang on another 5 to 10 minutes, Mars will be able to scale into these team fights. But as of right now, Jazville just picked up that breaking point as well. So I really want to see Misfits turn up that aggression again. Aim for this T2. If not, push the T2. Keep the waves there, and really look to get these back jungle camps over and over. Starving out this Saw completely.
Yeah, they did try to look for a little bit of an aggression onto this second turret, as you did just say, you know. But the clear potential of Nas was just very dominant. And the Crystal Sentry, they're going to try and focus it down. It might be a wrong decision as Maokai taking a lot of upfront damage. Nice CC, double CC from the Gauntlet by Hello Kitty with that Ardent Fist. Some Shade does go out. Unfortunately, Divine Intervention from Ali Peterson, just giving so much more sustain to Jazville onto this Rona. Going to be engaging right off the bat with that Foe Split down into the fray. Red Mist going well. Going to be able to shut him down with that bottom Mojo, doing way too much damage for his own good. And that looks like, no, Daniel Solo going to be using the Vanguard. Hello Kitty going to be locked down by that Ordain. Not going to be doing much as he was in safety under his own turret. That's going to be one kill pickup from Misfit. Just 5-0 with 9 minutes in. Gold advantage. 5k gold advantage. This is like game number 2, but the other way around. Misfit showing a lot of early aggression. And that's going to be turret number 2 just going down.
Yeah, this is absolutely awesome to see. They got the fight in jungle when they were rotating down to secure these jungle camps, and then transitioned that into a team fight. Grace got an amazing double stun there onto Vox. Then Rona red misted, killed Vox instantly, and then they transitioned up into that turret. So beautiful plays coming in from Misfits. They're definitely on their way to winning this game and taking us to a game 4.
Yeah, it looks like they had to switch, and they just switched on this game. They had to try and be dominant in this possibly last game, and they're doing it really, really well. They're just taking the lead, taking the goal, taking those objectives. They are now 2 turrets into the side of From Mars, and if they keep scaling this way and they're building up the gap between these 2 teams, they should indeed, as you just said there, take the win. And they're going to be building once again this gap as they did just secure that gold miner. And as you said, like right now, it does look like the side of From Mars are just trying to scale up their item and their gold advantage. They have to try and build those core items to be able to fight more effectively. But right now, unfortunately, all the jungle is secured by Misfits. They engage and invade so often, they leave no chance of comeback for From Mars. And if they keep it at this pace, it will be game for Misfits, no doubt.
Oh yeah, there's a huge buy coming in for Misfits as well. An Echo down onto this Grace earlier than the first game. This is a huge pickup. There's no Echo yet for the Arden onto From Mars.
Forcing the Crucible.
They go for the dive.
Yeah, diving in, going to be able to use the Vanguard. But look at that! Oh no! Round will be shut down right off the bat by this Cease Crucible. Going to be used up there. Do take down that choke point turret, and the stack in 7 stacks onto the breaking point was able to take down Jazville. 2-2 situation. Going to be popping the healing flask for Hello Kitty. Benediction getting the slow onto Nas. Maokai can re-engage. He's got the sustained guard. He can come back in. He's sustaining so well. Fist Shade does connect. 664 damage onto that full stack Bard Mojo. You have to respect the damage. They're going to be leaving that one slip away for the time being. Ali Peterson backing out to base, but be careful, Marco. Might be caught out. Suppressing fire does come out. 700 damage with that Bard Mojo. With the Roadie Run, 800 damage. Just way too much. Maybe the Mad Cannon wants to come out. You do have the Ordain. Oh, he's able to pick up the kill on Hello Kitty. If he does go down, he's not going down on his own. Hello Kitty and Maokai onto a 15-second death clock before they respawn. And looks like Jazville and Ali Peterson, they're not done quite yet. Daniel quite low, going to be using... Wow, that Benediction, that range from the Benediction was huge. Going to be using that into the fray. Unfortunately, a little bit out of range for Jazville. And yeah, just a nice 1-kill pickup for both sides.
That was really well played by Maokai. Unfortunately, he overextended there for that mid-Trent. So immediately Daniel lays down the suppressing fire, catches him out, but he is able to trade his death with the Arden. So really well played by him. Otherwise, that could be a comeback play by From Mars. They pick up this gold mine here to extend their gold lead even more. 7.3k.
Yeah, the gold advantage now is still building up. It did stop at some point because they did take a lot of reverse damage by From Mars. So they couldn't really continue building up that gap, but they did take a few kills up there. So they did take a few objectives. And it looks like they're just trying to build up their last few items before they maybe try and go for a last fight, because they do have that choke point turret down on the side of From Mars. So if they do pick up a Kraken at the 15-minute mark, it could be game, because we're still 30 minutes, 30 seconds in. So when that, I think they might even wait until the Kraken actually spawns before looking for a fight. And we do have now Echo available on Hello Kitty, and the Sorrow Blade for Jazville, just giving him so much more damage potential. And these team fights are going to be changing completely off pace. And Maokai now on Infusion, and so is Ali Peterson.
Yeah, this next fight is going to be essential for From Mars. It's really amazing how snowballed Misfits goes. Ali Peterson going in.
Oh, Fist and Shade coming out. Going to be... No, the Crucible was not going to be popped out. Going to be used, unfortunately, there for that Holy Nova. And the Red Mystic go well. Going to be using a very nice Gauntlet to keep them at bay. But they cannot re-engage as Daniel and Nas are going to be going very, very low. So they're just trying to push away this wave. Jazville, Ali Peterson, and Marco trying to get the re-engagement. They do have the Divine Intervention coming out from Ali Peterson to give a bit more sustain to Jazville. But they're not going to go and commit fully to this fight. And just going to be stealing once again the enemy's jungle, but the man cannon is active. Nice use for some shades. Just getting way too much CC. They're going to be shutting down right off the bat. They saw Daniel getting deleted, and that will be followed up probably by the death of Narcia. He's going to be also going down, giving over a double kill to Jazville, and they're going to be focusing down these Vayne turrets. And I think we're going to be seeing game number 4. They're going to try and probably get another kill onto Arden, just staying into their bay, into their range area, trying to keep this minion wave away. But look, they're going to change focus. They're not going to be focusing down Hello Kitty anymore. They're going to go onto this turret, but Daniel is now respawned. Nas is going to be respawning in the next few seconds. Nas is not a one-man army. You are a Saw. You cannot do a 1v3. And looks like, yeah, this might be game. Still trying to do damage with that suppressing fire. It will be game number 3. Given over to Team Misfits, who wanted a game number 4 and will be getting one. Congrats, Misfits. Doing an awesome game and comeback over the 3 last games. Just very, very dominant performance.
Yeah, amazing plays by Misfits this game. I really loved their adaptation. They went for the Echo early on this Grace. They were really aggressive, really decisive in the jungle. Once they got that Elder Trent, they immediately looked for an invade and got the jump off onto Saw and got that early game kill when he was trying to face check into the Tri-Bush. And then from there, they just kept their foot on the gas and really took this game and ran with it to the victory.
Yeah, like they almost had the same comp. They did change from the Baptiste. They didn't have Baptiste game number 1. But the thing that changed into this 3rd game is that game number 1, Misfits did get engaged way, way too often. And that was their losing factor. And this game, they understood, like, the 2 mistakes that they made game number 1, they did not make them in this 3rd game. They were much more aggressive. They knew they had to be the one to engage and commit into these team fights. They did do that, so they came out victorious in most of these fights. And also the Echo purchase much earlier onto this Grace just changed those losing situations into better situations, because the heal potential of the Echo Divine Intervention is just huge when you have those sustained heroes. And it's Baptiste and Rona, they're able to auto-sustain themselves. And just adding the double Divine Intervention to the mix was just huge. And they were just able to stay into this fight so long, building up the stacks onto Jazville with that Rona. And also Malco just able to CC, like, pin down the Saw or the Vox, depending on what their target was. And, like, they just took their win conditions so well in the 3rd game. And the switch is now flipped. We're going to have to see if Misfits stay into that mind state. And if they do, they could easily do a huge comeback and maybe even take the win.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see till the draft happens. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, and we have now entered the draft, just waiting for the first ban of Team from Mars. They are now switched. From Mars, it's going to be on A side and Misfits onto the B side. We are 2 games to 1 for From Mars, so they do have a little bit of a lead. If they do win this 4th game, From Mars will take the victory in NACL final. But, like, Misfits, they've shown such a good game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just come back completely in this series.
I mean, it's a momentum shift for sure. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with that high sustainability comps that they've been running. They didn't have a lot of success on the carry comps. So I would love to see them retain with the Grace pickup, the Rona pickups, really look to go for these sustained hard engage comps because they play them really well.
Yeah, but that's what happened mostly into these games. You had a lot of stacking games where they're just going to focus down onto those Dragon's Eyes and to those breaking points, because they'd have Rona pickups, Grace, Alpha, Reigns, Blackfeathers, Ardens, just very overall tanky heroes. We didn't see that many squishy heroes. We did see a few Vox, Celeste picked up, but not that often. You didn't have the Gwen that showed to be very dominant into these games. So we're going to have to see, but we do have then Vox ban for From Mars, Rona ban for Misfits, and first pickup is going to be Arden for Team From Mars, like in game number 2.
Yeah, they're putting so much emphasis on this Arden because it leaves their draft open. So with this Arden pickup, they reveal nothing, no way to get counterpicked. And now they get to see what Misfits picks here.
Yeah, Arden just overall very it's a very dominant hero into that roam place. You can just play with basically any hero, and it works so well. Like if you want to help a squishy hero, like you can just use your gauntlet to keep him out the enemy's range, and you can also rain down damage if you're, for example, a Celeste, a Ringo, and it can also help you out if you're with the Vanguard. And if you are one of those bruiser or brawl heroes, you want to dive in, he can give you the Vanguard, slow down the enemy heroes with it, give you the extra move speed, and use that gauntlet to keep them in the Bay area so you can keep engaging them on them. So it can work with literally any kind of composition. We're going to see then a Grace pickup for Misfits, just having that much more sustain into those fights. And we're going to have to wait to see what they want to do it up, because nothing is shown just picking up two very powerful heroes into the roam position in 3.0. So really, we do not know what's going to happen. It's going to be a Kestrel ban for Misfits.
Interesting choice there. Probably looking to get rid of that kite comp that they faced in game number 2. I wonder if they'll go the Blackfeather route here. They could also second pick Cruel. I don't really like that because it blind picks your Cruel into a kite comp. So it'll be interesting to see what they pick here.
We do see then the Baptiste ban for From Mars. It did work out really well last game. They didn't want to give that hero over to Misfits once more. So Rona and Baptiste out of the equation into this fourth game. That worked really well for Misfits, so they will not be having those heroes up into this game. And as you said, a Cruel pickup would be a bad idea for Misfits, because that will allow From Mars from getting up there is that kite comp. They got Petal available. So, yeah, I wouldn't pick that kind of hero. Maybe you want to go with the Blackfeather route would be an awesome pickup, just able to flex through the lane, through the jungle, and also with your build path, CP, or weapon. So, no, they're going to be picking up the Cruel, like we were saying there, because, they'll have a mistake because, they can kite it so well.
I mean, it can be kited. It's very counterable, but Maokai is amazing on this Cruel, so putting him on a comfort pick might be your best option here. I expect From Mars to go the Samuel route or a Petal route with a,
There's going to be a Samuel there. They just picked up Samuel Blackfeather.
Samuel Blackfeather, okay. Definitely the same kind of idea. Kiting away this Cruel. Blackfeather is actually not hard countered by Cruel by any means, but once Cruel gets stacks on him, does not deal any execute damage whatsoever. So, interesting pick there. I do know Hello Kitty is super competent on the Blackfeather, so it'll be interesting to see.
But Blackfeather into this game his biggest focus is to shut down the squishy hero that's going to be picked on the side of Misfits, and that's going to be then a Skye. It's going to be able to move around, Suri Strike very often, get out of the range of Blackfeather, and it's going to I don't know. What do you think of that Skye pickup for Misfits?
It does put a hyper carry with Cruel, which Cruel excels at keeping your hyper carry alive, because once you dive into Cruel, he gets all his stacks up. So it's not a bad pick. I think if From Mars gets any form of advantage, Misfits will get snowballed out of control, just because of the fact that both Samuel and Blackfeather, if Samuel lands Malice and Verdict and Blackfeather gets on top of Skye, insta-gives her immediately when you get ahead of her. If they are able to scale that Skye into the late game, get 2 to 3 items up, I give the draft over to Misfits then. But it is going to be decided in the first 10 minutes of the game.
I like having a split desk, so I will be giving this game over to Team From Mars. I do like the dive potential of this Blackfeather, trying to shut down as soon as possible this Skye. But as you said, when you dive onto a Cruel comp, he's building up those stacks so effectively, and if you ignore him for too long, he's just going to come back so strong, just bursting you down with a Spectral Smite, with a From Hell's Art, that's going to be mostly targeted onto this Samuel. So, yeah, this game is going to be very interesting. If Misfits take the win, it will be a 2-2 situation. That means we will be going over to game number 5. But if From Mars show dominance in this fourth game and take the win, They will also take the title of a winner of NACL in this finals. And just trying to wait and get into this game number 4. What do you predict is going to happen into the early game while we're at it, while we do wait to enter the fold?
So since this is going to be a carry cruel, I expect Misfits to try and play hyper aggressive against this Samuel, try to get a snowball going in the jungle. That being said, if they make a mistake, we saw what Samuel could do once he snowballs. He's able to absolutely dominate the jungle, then rotate up to that lane, provide a lot of siege, a lot of damage, and be able to just push down the lane and take turret after turret. So it's really going to depend on how well From Mars defends the aggression from Misfits.
Yeah, and it looks like we're just going to be entering the draft for the players, just trying to pick up those heroes. And as a quick reminder, in game number 2, we did have this Cruel picked up. It was into the roam position, and he was also up against Samuel. It was a Samuel and Kestrel duo. So this time, you're going to have this carry Cruel. It's going to be a damage-based brawl hero Cruel. So he's going to try and get a lot of dive onto Nas, trying to shut him down as soon as possible. As you did say, I do also expect him to go very aggressive, trying to shut down as soon as possible this Samuel, because he doesn't have a huge power spike early game. When he does get that Dragon's Eye, that's when they're going to have to be a little bit more cautious of when they engage, because if they miss their engagement, Nas 9000 onto this Samuel is going to be scaling up super fast, and he's just going to be doing an absolute reverse damage and just bursting down so effectively this Cruel. So it's going to be very interesting, but we are now into this game number 4. As a reminder, we are into the final of NACL B05. For now, we are at a score of 2-1 for Team From Mars. Misfits done an awesome comeback last game. We expect them to do the same for this 4th game. But From Mars, if they do take the win, there will be the winners of NACL. The Misfits, they do not want to let that happen, and they're going to try and take on From Mars and try and take this victory in game number 4.
Yeah, it's just standard clears coming out from both teams. They're going to be probably looking to fight for this shop trend. If they do fight, I give it actually over to Misfits. The only strong level 2 character on the side of From Mars is Samuel, and they're going to start up the shop trend right away.
Yeah, they're going for it. Try and get this. It will be secured there for Hello Kitty. Look at that Maokai. He does not care. He's going to try and get the engagement onto Nas. Trying to get well. Spectral Smite do the huge chunk of damage onto Nas. He's going to be letting that one slip away. They do have the vision. Where's that scout cam? I was going to say scout cam. This is not 5v5. Where's that scout trap? And Daniel, look at that. As you did say, Wiz Cruel, you must try and look for as many engagements as possible. He's getting a lot of damage. Spectral Smite going to be raining 200 damage. And that healing flask was a little bit late. He could have got a kill there. It's not the end. He's not letting him slip away. And it will be first blood over for Maokai. And as you did say, he's an absolute beast with that Cruel. And he's not going to let the advantage go over to From Mars. Engaging once again. He's just going to try and steal up those camps. He was going to be securing it with a Spectral Smite. But the Corrupted Genius, again, the extra regen for Nas, trying to get the killing blow. Look at that. Maokai, he does have a Desmond Rush available if he probably wants to do a re-engagement. I think Nas is a little bit too confident, and he will be a little bit too confident. He did not use his healing flask. He just popped it out there. Going to be using the boots. Healing flask going to be also popped out onto Maokai. Try and sustain out through the Malice and Verdict. But Nas just able to get out of range so effectively. Nice Benediction, getting a lot of damage onto Nas, trying to get the killing blow. Yeah, it will be picked up by Ali Peterson, making it 2-0 for Misfits. Now, the switch is indeed flipped. They're so aggressive, and I really enjoy seeing that coming up from Misfits.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to do. And unfortunately, Daniel provoked the beast a little bit there, face-checking the Tribush 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And Maokai just took complete advantage of that and got mid-Trent. And then the shop Trent, and then 3 kills. Yeah, 3 kills going over to the side of Misfits. Excuse me, sorry.
No problem. But yeah, like Maokai just taking, he's already on a 2-0 kill death ratio. And on the Cruel, if you're able to scale into the early game, you do not want to see what the late game is going to be looking like, because he's going to be able to dive onto Nas so effectively. They already got a little bit of a gold advantage, almost hitting the 1k advantage in less than 4 minutes, which is huge. Daniel looks like had a little bit of a problem there, just staying around. Don't know what's really happening. They're going to be leaving him survive, I think. No, he's going to be able to get under his own turret. Didn't know what happened there. A little bit of an engagement by Hello Kitty. Vanguard did come out. Looks like Daniel's having some connection problems. Unfortunately, that does happen. You can't do much against it.
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate. Hopefully that gets solved quick. Maybe... Unfortunately, it is up to the player to have his service. But hopefully Mars has a sub for next game if that's the case.
Yeah, we'll hope to see that come out, because into the finals, that's the worst possible moment where you can have some internet problems. But we are now 4 minutes into this game, 3-0 for Misfits, showing very dominant performance. Gold advantage hitting the 1k mark, and Hello Kitty trying to steal some jungle. But Maokai saying no, going to be trying to secure those camps. But he was able to take one with that Feint of Heart, but the reposition in Hello Kitty should be going down. Does get that little bit of defense, does pop the healing flask. The Vanguard coming out from Daniel, trying to reposition, but that will be the end for Hello Kitty. Going to be finished down by Jazville. And he did go the other way around to save up Daniel and Nas, and Daniel still with those problems, trying to roam around. But it's complicated for Mars. They're a little bit caught out most of these fights.
Yeah, Misfits is playing these fights amazing. I love how they're just rotating around the map as three and really making sure that they get the snowball off. Maokai has finished that Poison Shiv, Jazville with that Frostburn, Ally Peterson with the Fountain. It looks like they're going for a pick onto Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty does use his ult stacks to get away there. They are items ahead, so they definitely need to shove this advantage as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, they have to indeed, because also Hello Kitty doesn't have his healing flask up. So he did understand that he had to reposition, so he did use those Rose offensive stacks. They're going to be coming back in 30 seconds, so that's going to be a little bit of a loss for Hello Kitty, just losing those core abilities. So 30 seconds, he's going to have to play very defensive for the next few seconds. And we do have then the first item spike for Nas. That's going to be the Dragon's Eye and also the Fountain from Daniel. That's going to be huge from Team from Mars. And looks like Daniel did come back from his connection problems. And yeah, so that's it might be able to come back, because that power spike on Samuel is just going to be huge against the Cruel.
Yeah, this is really great for From Mars. They got that Dragon's Eye, the Fountain. They're ready to team fight. The biggest issue here is that they only have one stack of ult on that Black Feather. Team fight coming in, they go immediately onto Jazville.
Yeah, that's the good decision. Tried to shut down Jazville. Don't have to feint apart by Stack of Feather. Rose offensive. Hello Kitty able to shut him down instantaneously. The Maokai into that burst, just getting his shadows. Empowers me's passive. Just a run to safety. And it might be a little bit of a counter push. They did lose their turret onto the side of From Mars. They might want to do the reverse engagement. They will be going for that, taking down the first turret. One turret down on both sides, and we are 7 minutes in. 5-1 on the scoreboard. Gold advantage. A little bit caught back up by Team from Mars. They're trying to make that gap smaller and smaller. And by doing that, they're going to try and take down this gold miner.
It looks like they will get it uncontested. It's going to be close, really close. I like Peterson use his boots to get in.
Benediction, you have the Oblivion coming out. It will be secured by the feint of Hello Kitty. And now the counter engagement there. Daniel does fall out quite low. And Maokai, did you have the information? Going to be using his shadows and powers his passive. Rose offensive from Hello Kitty, nicely done. He did take the focus of Maokai, but used the Rose offensive across the wall to escape to safety. So no one going down, just once again, nice gold advantage. Like, they switched over the gold advantage. Misfits were in the lead. Now it is Team from Mars. So if they keep it at this pace, they can turn it around.
Yeah, Misfits were only a K ahead when they were at their height, and now it's completely swapped over. to From Mars. And as I said, like once they scale up, it looks like a fight's coming in here. Ally Peterson will be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, look at those stacks coming out from Nas, and Jazrael just backing out. Be careful, going to be taking a lot of damage. Does pop that healing flask instantaneously. Does not want to have to deal with that. The Midas and Verdict doing an awesome job. He's going to be going down. He knows he was going down at that point. He cannot deal with an 11-stack Dragon's Eye onto a Samuel. It's just way too much to stand up against. So that's going to be 2 kill pickups, one on Ally Peterson and one onto Jazrael. And slowly rotating this game the other way around. And the 1k advantage is not onto Misfits now. It is on the side of Team from Mars.
Yeah, and Hello Kitty being super smart with his lane management here. He's going to stack this wave up in the lane here, making it so Sky does not get any CS or any form of gold starting from this point onward. He could stall this out infinitely if they wanted to, but it looks like they're going to shove it out. I wish they had just left this and stalled this out, forced Misfits to come to them and really make them fight where they want them to fight, but they are going to just shove it out.
Yeah, and it looks like they even might try and look for an engagement. 3-man teams all together. And look at that, Maokai going right for the engagement onto this Samuel. Very defensive poorly, able to keep Maokai on his own. Gonna use a Spectral Smite and also the Divine Intervention, able to keep him quite lively with the Crucible, able to block out that Oblivion. From Elzar does connect right off the bat onto this Samuel. He's gonna be absolutely deleted. And so will this Sky. Blackbird and crew doing their work, trying to delete as fast as possible the enemy squishy heroes. Ali Peterson going very low, but look at that, Maokai just still full HP. Blood for blood, able to pick up the kill. Daniel just knowing what he had to do there, trying to keep himself alive. 2 seconds before the respawn of Nas. It will not be an ace. He should go the other way. He can try and get close to Nas 9000. He's going the other way around. I do not understand that decision quite yet for Daniel. But Samuel just knows he has to go and get close to Arden to try and save him. But no, he's gonna do the minions. He's not gonna help him out. He's leaving him alone in the wild. And he's gonna be able to escape anyways.
Yeah, Daniel's gonna get away there. So although Misfits come out on top, in my opinion, when you lose 2 carries for a support and a carry, it's always in the favor of that team. But the biggest issue for Misfits is that they're still splitting their target focus. Maokai was on top of Samuel while Blackfeather got the free dive on to Sky. And the whole point of this comp is so Cruel stays on top of whoever dives onto the Sky, stops them from getting that assassination off on your hyper carry. So I think it's really hard to say where these team fights are going to go just because of that. So I think they're going to have to reevaluate how they play these team fights. And it looks like Maokai is going to go for a little chip damage down onto Daniel here.
Yeah, just taking a little bit of upfront damage. Not going to be doing much right now. But indeed, as you said, it is a complicated situation for Maokai because he has 2 choices. It's all stay with Jazrael and focus down the heroes that will be diving onto Jazrael, that will be Hello Kitty with that Blackfeather, or just burst down Nas as he did do. He was able to pick up the kill, but Jazrael did get deleted instantaneously by Hello Kitty, as we do see a little bit of an engagement there from Helzar. Does connect, gets a nice chunk of CC onto Nas, with the Vanguard just able to keep him at bay. Fountain going to be popped out by the Arden to keep Hello Kitty nice and lively. And you see Maokai into the bush there, just trying to look for any opportunity to engage. And that's going to be Hello Kitty backing out to base, and they did know he went away. They did have that info, so they're going to be focusing down this gold miner, and they could secure it quite easily with the Spectral Smite from Maokai. But Daniel just put in his nose where he shouldn't, taking a little bit of damage. Looks like Jazrael trying to range him out. He does have the Dragon's Eye, but so does Nas, and the stacking starts for both of these teams. You know they're going to be counted out by the Rose Offensive coming out from Hello Kitty. You still look at the stacks from the Dragon's Eye. This Jazrael doing such a good job. And he's going to try and delete them. He's going to be stunned out by the cage of Arden, by that gauntlet. And looks like this will be the end of the fight because they are quite low on both sides, Misfits and Team from Mars, calling it a day. Going to be backing out to their respective jungle and just farming up.
Super interesting fight there. I would say the biggest issue from Mars there is that they were focusing on trying to keep the Cruel off the Samuel, and that's just not going to work out for them. Since they went this pseudo dive kite comp, they have to choose their poison, and I think that they have to get rid of the Sky because, as you said, those Dragon Eye stacks started going insane. Like, Jazzville nearly insta-gibbed Nas with one forward barrage. So, and once he finishes his third item, the Broken Myth, it's going to be so hard for them to kill this guy. Again, with Maokai's build, he went the Atlas as his second T3 item. So he has to stick around this guy, make sure this Blackfeather does not assassinate him. So him keep going. If he does keep going on this Sam, it has to be essential that all three members are kiting, trying to keep the Cruel off the Samuel.
Look at that. We do have the counter engagement. Bro's offensive going to use the From Hell's Heart. It's going to be coming back in a boomerang. Nice Crucible coming up from Daniel, blocking out that CC. And the forward barrage from Jazrael doing so much damage. He's also taking a huge chunk of damage from those Marlies and Verdicts. Nas trying to look for the perfect angle to engage onto Jazrael, with Jazrael still staying at bay. Ali Peterson taking a lot of damage anyways, like still 3 men are still alive. Blackfeather completely out of the equation. And that will be the end for Nas. 9000 just getting deleted by this troll. And he's still looking for more. He's looking to engage into the enemy jungle. They do get the flare. They do have the info. Hello Kitty, you should not get close to this or you will be going down. And they're still staying very, very clumped up together. Misfits just are knowing they have to stick together. They try and push this down. And Maokai looking for more.
Yeah, that was amazingly played by Maokai. He sat on that Blackfeather, got his weakness stacks off, got his Atlas off. The Blackfeather did not do anything that game. And although Samuel did go off, it was only because Jazrael missed his forward barrage, shot it backwards, and was not in position. So Samuel hit him 2 times with Malice and Verdicts, and that's what made that fight so scary for Misfits. But really well played by Maokai, that team fight.
Yeah, and now we are 15 minutes in. Kraken is now spawned. These team fights are going to be that much more important because it might result into the Kraken getting captured. And also, Spellfire did get built up and itemized onto Nas, onto this Samuel, so able to shut down the sustain from the Divine Intervention coming up from Ali Peterson, and also the Spectral Smite and Deadman Rush coming up from Maokai. So really nice pickup on this Samuel. I do not see that item coming out a lot on Samuel, but it's very smart building it up because going up against a very high sustain duo between this Grace and Cruel is really nice itemization overall. And it looks like they might try and look for an engagement for Misfits.
Yeah, it is a great pickup here. It eliminates all the sustain from Misfits, and it looks like Misfits wants to fight here. From Mars, we'll just back out. Kraken has spawned. They do pick up the mid-trent here. Breaking Point is picked up on Maokai as well, so he can actually now probably carry these fights if he does not get focused out, of course. Just in case Sky goes down. Pocket infuse down onto Samuel. There's no other infuses on the map except for on Grace, which is a really interesting pickup. I think that you need to complete items before you go for infuses down on your support. So very interesting pickup. Infuse does come out onto the Sky.
Oh.
Face check by Daniel here, though.
Yeah, be careful there. The face check going right off the bat. Do have a very defensive gauntlet. They're able to get a little bit of CC3 stuns onto Maokai, just walking through the gauntlet. But also, like, as you said, items are much more important for Ali Peterson. He does not have that Echo up and available. He hasn't even started building that item. This game changing. You did see Misfits building that up last game. It did go towards their win advantage. But it's not being built up. And you do have the From Elzar connecting onto this Blackfeather, taking so much upfront damage. He did use the Rose Offensive to get out of that Holy Nova. Nicely done. And now looks like it will be a little bit of a push there from the side of Misfits. They were able to take a lot of advantage into that fight and a lot of early damage on Blackfeather. He did back out. He is going to back out to base, I would imagine, because he is mid HP. And looks like they're trying to secure down this Kraken, trying to pull off probably a C9 to take this objective and turn it into a team fight. And he will be engaging it. Nice engagement, going into a 1v3 right off the bat, trying to shut down onto the Samuel, who does pop out the healing fast. Hello Kitty taking a lot of damage, but they're getting a reverse kill onto Maokai. That Spellfire doing an awesome job to stop the sustain onto this Cruel and the Divine Intervention coming up from Ali Peterson. And now it's a reverse engagement. This stack slowly building up onto this Samuel. Nas will be deleting it. Oh, the burst! The burst was huge. And now Blackfeather just going to be picking up the kill on Ali Peterson, scoring an ace. 18 minutes in. And this is going to be first Kraken for side of from Mars.
As you said, that Spellfire paying dividends in that fight. They all just focus Cruel. Even with the ultimate coming in from Ally Peterson and his own sustain, the Mortal Wounds just absolutely demolishing Cruel because he went for that breaking point instead of finishing another tank item. He is really squishy and really easy to kill once he doesn't have that sustain. So really well played and really, really good target focus from Mars. They're going to pick up this Kraken. They're going to shove down this lane. They might even actually be able to end with this Kraken, to be honest with you. Blackfeather is down at shop. I'm not exactly sure what he's waiting for. I don't think he picked up anything special. He is coming up to lane. He has his Sorrowblade Breaking Point Serpent's Mask going for TM next.
Yeah, be careful there. This choke point turret taking way too much damage. It's going to be going down really fast. Kraken still mid HP. It looks like From Mars might want to try and commit to this possibly last fight of this game. From Mars does connect while the Vanguard was going to be used off this Arden. Looks like they're going to be able to get a reverse kill onto Daniel. And now the stacks are building up. 8 stacks onto that Dragon's Eye. That's going to be the end of Sky getting deleted so fast. The Oblivion does go down. Nice Crucible from Ali Peterson, keeping awake this Cruel, trying to focus down the Kraken as fast as possible. Kraken still lies and lively, going to be able to get another turret shot. This last Vein Crystal will be going down, just giving the opportunity of a backdoor to Team From Mars. It looks like it might be the end actually for, yeah, that's going to be securing an ace for Misfits as NOS 9000 does go down. But he did take down those 2 Vein turrets, so like it might be the end, but that's not going to be the last team fight of this game.
Really great target focus, that team fight by Misfits. They got the Hell's Heart onto Arden, but instead of trying to refocus onto one of the characters, they just focused down this Arden, killed him. He didn't get off any of his activatables. His Vanguard didn't go off. And that just won them the team fight right off the bat. They then refocused onto the Blackfeather, insta-gibbed him, and now we're moving into just defense mode. They need to set up vision to make sure that they don't get backdoored. I would say they really need their 4th item down on the Sky. The Sky is pretty starved out. 138 CS to 111. She's not even close to completing her 4th item. And with the Spellfire, I just don't think at this point, I would say From Mars is in the driver's seat, and one more fight will just about wrap this up.
Yeah, Team From Mars looking for the engagement. They do have now that Broken Myth up and available onto Nas. He did just finish that item. He's going to be able to pierce down even more onto Maokai as he does have that Aegis. And the Spellfire also shutting down his healing potential as Kraken is now respawned. That means if Misfits do win this fight, they can take a Kraken and even possibly come back into this game. And now infusion time for Nas, also onto Daniel and Hello Kitty. They are looking to go for this last fight as it does start the engagement. Oh, nice. Crucible able to block out that Holy Nova coming out from this Grace. Divine Intervention able to top up the HP onto this Sky. Also, Crucible will use once again onto the side of Misfits. But that's Cruel just going down so fast. The reverse damage is huge. Holy Nova able to knock up Nas. He's a little bit separated from his teammate. He will be going down to that forward barrage. Just 12 stacks onto that Dragon's Eye. It's just huge for Jazrael and Hello Kitty. Just trying to run towards the enemy base. He was just fainting it out because he was trying to force back out from Jazrael. He did go back to his base. And he's going to be avoiding giving over the ace at this point.
Great plays by Misfits there. They refocused their target focus, and basically From Mars has been doing what Misfits has been doing the entire series. They split up their target focus. Samuel went 1v2, hoping he could get the Malice Verdict damage down, paid with it with his life, and basically lost his team the team fight there, in my opinion, where if they just stuck together, focused down the Cruel with the Spellfire, Mortal Wounds, another easy team fight, but instead they handed over, and Misfits picks up this Kraken and might be able to push with it. A 22-minute Kraken is insanely hard to take down.
Yeah, now they do have that Kraken up and available. Misfits, they did switch this game around. And they did win the team fight. The Kraken was upset. They just secured it as fast as possible. And it might be a comeback for Misfits because they have the potential to push down these objectives quite fast. You have the crew just able to dive in, still sustain. But we're going to have to see as these teams are slowly going to be sticking up together. You do have a little bit, where is he? I cannot see.
Arden's looking for a backdoor here.
I was looking for him. I couldn't find him. He's just rushing the base and he's going to force a back out from Jazzville. He's going to be backing out there. They just know what's happening right now. Look at that. They're trying to secure down these kills from Elzar going to be blocked out by the Rose offensive. And Arden going back to the base. What's going on there? Like, Misfits in a very sticky situation. It's all you back, all you commit to these fights. It's like, and they're trying to engage. They're trying to stop them from backing out. And that's a very nice decision from Hello Kitty. Trying to use the on-point avoiding once again. Backing out to base. They're just in an awesome job. And Arden's punching down this turret already down to mid HP. He does have his Stormguard banner. And I was really not expecting this. Like, from Mars, Arden just doing such a good job taking out these objectives. He's so tanky up against Crew. And that thing, it might even be game. Where's this move from Daniel just trying to secure the win? The breaking
These
point.
weakness stacks are doing great. Why did he just use a Spectral Smite? He just...
Oh, no, Spectral Smite, come on for it. Oh my god, Maokai just securing and avoiding the defeat. Oh, mixed. Whoa, I was not expecting that.
Him using his Spectral Smite, I thought he just lost his team the game. His weakness stacks reduces attack speed and damage, so by using his Spectral Smite, he gave Daniel a chance, but he had enough breaking point stacks to complete the kill. That was so insanely scary for Misfits.
Yeah, it is weird. That I was really not prepared for that. I was looking for Daniel on the map, was not able to find him. But that was a really smart decision because he put Misfits in like the decision factor they had, or to commit into that fight with the Kraken, or back out to base. And what was really smart is that Hello Kitty was trying to avoid them from backing out to base. They were able also to pick up kills with that, and also they were able to finish the Kraken. So like Daniel just, I think even maybe saved the game for his team, because if they were able to push down these objectives, it could have been game. As we do see now, everyone is back and spawned, and they're going to be trying to look for this next engagement from Elzar. Does go down, rains down onto this Samuel. He's able to get so much CC, but he never does knock up Daniel away from his team. Very defensive gauntlet there, trying to keep them at bay. And Daniel just going to be staying into the gauntlet, just trying to keep the CC wall up. Nicely done. But like, no kills right yet.
The amount of damage that went on to Maokai there was insane, and it looks like they're going to catch out Maokai here. This is huge.
Awesome. This is huge indeed. Trying to re-engage her. Oblivion crucibled out by this Grace. He never does connect onto Hello Kitty and Nas. And Nas just building up those stacks so effectively. This might be game. Oh, be careful there. It will be going down. The Spellfire able to pick up the kill for Nas. And Cruel just trying to back out to base. Hello Kitty does have the information on that. Going to try and secure the kill. This Crystal Sentry is going to be part of this fight. And look at that, on point. Does use the from Elzar. Going to try and use the Faithful. No, Maokai getting the reverse kill. But Daniel and Nas doing the base rush. And this should be game over to Team From Mars.
This looks like it's going to be GG, boys. From Mars taking the finals.
Yeah, Team From Mars just winning the game, making it a 1 against Misfits. Misfits, they did switch up 2 first game for Misfits, weren't all that great. They did come back really well in game number 3, taking it 2-1, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Team From Mars just playing so well, taking their win conditions so much in their hands. And even though it was a bit scary at some points, like Misfits doing some awesome plays into this last game, they did have the kill advantage there, 16-11, but it speaks for himself there. 3-1 From Mars, champions of NACL, into this finals of BO5 up against Misfits. Overall, awesome games. What do you have to add here?
Amazing set. Both teams played absolutely fantastic. Misfits really trying to pull it out and do that reverse sweep. Unfortunately, From Mars wasn't having it. They came out swinging. Daniel nearly with the backdoor. But congratulations, From Mars.
Yeah, From Mars taking the win. They are the champion of the season of NACL. It was the final, so NACL will not be coming back right yet. It will be coming back into a a few months, I guess. I do not know exactly. But NACL will be coming back very soon for you guys. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining the stream. This was me, Maximan, joined by the one and only Xenotech. If you have anything else to add, we might wrap it up, Xeno.
No, I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, you guys stay awesome as always, and see you probably not on the fold next time, but on the rise. Goodbye.